Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into a really interesting study. It's from the University of East Anglia.
Right, and they basically compared essays written by university students with ones generated by ChatGPT.
Exactly. And the core question really is, can AI actually replicate, human writing?
It was published April 30th in Written Communication. Feng Zhang and Ken Hyland were the researchers.
So our goal here is to unpack what they found, the key differences, and sort of think about what that means for AI and, well, human skills.
Okay, so the setup was pretty straightforward. They took 145 student essays and then generated 145 using ChatGPT on the same topics.
And the AI stuff was okay, like grammatically.
Yeah, often it was perfectly fine. Good structure, grammar was sound. But there was definitely something missing, something subtle.
Yeah, what was that missing piece?
Well, the researchers honed in on what they called engagement markers.
Engagement markers.
Yeah, think about those little things writers do to connect with you. Maybe asking a question or dropping in a personal comment.
Like, have you ever thought about, or for me, this means, that kind of thing?
Exactly like that. And the student essays, they were full of them. It makes the writing feel more interactive, more persuasive sometimes.
Right. You feel the person behind the words.
Precisely. Now contrast that with the ChatGPT essays.
Okay.
Linguistically fluent, sure, but they felt kind of flat, impersonal.
So, no rhetorical questions, no little asides.
Very rarely. They followed academic conventions, cited things correctly, structured it logically, but they didn't really take a stance or try to engage you directly.
Huh. So less engaging, less persuasive, the study found.
That's what they concluded. And they think it's likely because the AI's training data makes it prioritize coherence and sort of neutral information delivery over that conversational persuasive element humans naturally use.
So for you listening, and this is interesting, right? It suggests AI can churn out information, sure, but it struggles with that nuance, that human touch that makes writing really connect or convince someone.
It really highlights the value of, well, our perspectives and critical thinking.
Does this go beyond student essays, though? I mean, could these limitations affect other writing? Marketing, speeches?
That's a really good question. If it struggles with that personal connection in an academic context, you have to wonder, right? How effective could it be at writing, say, really compelling marketing copy?
Or something that needs emotional resonance.
Exactly. Or a political speech trying to build rapport. That lack of genuine engagement, that missing personal voice, could be a pretty big hurdle in fields where connection is key.
Makes sense. Now, back to education. The researchers were concerned about identifying AI work, weren't they?
Yes, Professor Hyland mentioned being initially quite worried. The concern was that tools like ChatGPT could make cheating easier, obviously, but also that they might weaken core skills.
Like critical thinking and actually learning to write well yourself.
Right. The hope is that by understanding these stylistic differences, the lack of engagement markers, the impersonal tone, educators might get better at spotting AI-generated text. It's about promoting critical literacy and academic honesty.
But it's not all negative, is it? Did they see any upside for AI in education?
Oh, definitely. They weren't just saying ban it. This study actually suggests these tools could be useful teaching aids.
How so?
Well, instead of just a shortcut to a finished essay, maybe use it for brainstorming ideas, or getting feedback on grammar, or even helping structure an outline.
So a tool to help learning, not replace it.
Exactly. Professor Hyland made a key point. Education is fundamentally about teaching students how to think critically, analytically, and that's something AI just can't replicate.
Okay, so let's bring this together. This deep dive shows pretty clearly that while AI is getting good at generating text that looks right,
it's missing that spark, that personal insight, the engagement that really marks strong human writing.
Yeah, it really underscores that things like critical thinking, perspective, maybe even a bit of personality, those are still uniquely human and irreplaceable.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to chew on. AI is great at processing vast amounts of information, right? And we humans excel at nuanced thought, communication, connection. So how might these two different strengths best work together in the future? Not just in schools, but, everywhere we communicate and create things. Definitely something to consider.